So I started working, and I took it slowly, and I realized I needed more staff. And I brought in a fantastic young woman who started with me and was with me for 25 years. And we delivered shawarmas at 10 o'clock at night, late night DJs like Gareth. And then my very first job was the Rolling Stones. And it was a job with no experience. I had the record company experience, but not on that level of Ellis Park, and I'm sure you all remember, like Ellis Park then, it was the big concert. And I was thrown in handle the artist, handle the management, handle the media, handle the accreditation.
What is the actual job when you're PR for a touring rock band?
Okay.
What do you have to do?
Okay, so my job is to launch the tour. So often when you hear on radio or read in the newspapers or you see online, XYZ is coming to the country, these are the dates, this is a bit of a story. So that's where I start. Then I've got to start coordinating with international management, plus local record company, plus media, plus all the different role players, plus the local teams. How am I going to put bums on seats? Because at the end of the day, that's my job. My job is to fill those stadiums, and whatever it takes to fill those stadiums. So we would launch the tours. Then I'd deal with international management or PRs from hell that represented these artists on what are they going to do pre-concert, what are they going to do on the ground in terms of media, in terms of press conferences. Maybe they would meet Mandela, maybe they would go and visit a children's home, maybe they wanted to go to a bush lodge, maybe they wanted to go to Namibia to buy emeralds. I mean, I can tell you stories, which we'll hear about later. But then they would arrive on the ground, then I would sort of look after them until they left. And then, of course, it would be show night, and I would have all the media there, whether it be local media, international media. Then I'd have all the prima donna media. Then I'd have all the prima donnas that came from their camp. Then we'd do meet and greets, which are called, you most probably know what they are, but it's post-show or pre-show, where selected people get invited to have their picture with the artist. And, you know, they would arrive in their motorcade and they would leave in their police escort, and that would be the end of the concert.
But not the end of your work,
not
because
at all.
that you
Not
still
at
had
all.
to do all the cleaning up.
Well, absolutely. If there was a drama at a tour, which they often are, I would always be the last to go to bed and the first to wake up, because I had to spin. And my goodness, I've had to spin.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Piles of money lying around, broken hotel rooms.
Well, a lot of that, but a lot of other stuff too, and more difficult stuff than that, because I became the queen of that sort of stuff. That was easy.
Political stuff that was complicated.
It was political stuff. It was ego stuff. It was out of control artists. It was commitments that had been made to people, and the artist never saw it through. And you've got to imagine too, if you're a 12-year-old child and you've been given the opportunity because you might be ill or have a disease, or you won a competition, and you've been waiting for the last 4 months or 5 months, or whether you're the greatest fan, you can be 30 and be the greatest fan, and you happen to be the chosen one, and the artist don't feel like doing the meet and greet, and you've been standing backstage for 3 hours waiting, plus missed the show, and I see an entourage driving on, and how am I going to deal with these people? So that is an example. Another example is an artist won't have their picture taken. I've just done the Eminem tour, and I'm not sure if all of you are aware that all the drama that I had over that. Because
Thanks for the signed poster.
Yeah, that was really good. I put the signature on.
Yeah, you signed
by the
it.
way. Yeah.
I still thought it was Eminem up to now.
Actually, I'm very good at faking signatures. I'm good at, so if you ever need help, call me. I'm really, really good.
You get to see the greatest artists in the world. You're probably about 10 foot away from them.
You are.
You are the closest.
I'm right up there.
Yeah, but you're the closest person.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, is you're on the stage right next to them
Yes,
while they're
I
doing
am.
their thing. You can see how sweaty X or Y gets, and you can see whether they're really singing or whether it's
Miming.
hooked up to a playback. It's incredible. That must be very, very powerful stuff. Have you ever found yourself crying?
Never, no.
No.
I've cried from angst, actually. And
But not from happiness and joy in seeing someone that
No.
you really
No,
wanted to see.
No.
So, not
No.
Justin Bieber.
No. I think the only moment I had where I could have cried was when Lionel Richie was like serenading me and singing Penny Lover to me. I mean, I think I could have cried, but I think I was, like my heart was beating so fast. I didn't know whether to sing along or just gaze at him.